Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about fishes and just a lot about fishes in general. So the first thing that you should know is that they're vertebrates. Like us, they have vertebrae, and they possess two key evolutionary characteristics, including the vertebral column and specialized cells in nerve cord called the neural crest. So the fish are the most abundant vertebrates by both species and number, and make up half of all the species of vertebrates on Earth. The three main groups of which of the fish include jawless, cartilaginous, and bony fish. So an example of a jawless fish, as you can see on the image, is a hagfish or sea lamprey. For the cartilaginous fish, you would think of a shark, and then for bony fishes, those would be, I forget what the word is. An example of which being like a tuna or Atlantic cod. Also, the sunfish, which is a really cool fish. So, as you probably know, fish they come in all shapes and sizes. So they have four main body types, which you can see here. There are a few more, if I'm remembering correctly, but these are the four main types, I would say. So the most common type is the fusiform. I don't know. So that one is a fast swimming fish, and it's meant for open water and like long distance. And as you can see, it's paired with a lunate tail, the fusiform fish, which I'll be getting into next. It is also used for fast swimming in open water, for long distances, and migrating fish. So the tuna is an example of a fish with the fusiform body shape, and you can see the cross section. It's kind of like, it's not overly compressed or small or anything like that. It's just pretty normal shape. The next fish body shape is the tautog. It is the tautog example, and it's compressed. So compressed is good for quick speed and short distances. And then there's another one called the depressed. I'm gonna enunciate it like that because I want to say depressed, but that's the technical word for it, and it's flat, like a pancake, you could say. So that would be a flattened shape, which swims like a flying bird. So those include skates. So they kind of like flap. It's kind of fun. And as you can see, that's the body shape. So the compressed is like if you clap, you'd smush it like that. Clap, compressed. And then flattened is just the one that's not compressed. So then for elongated, that would be like the pipefish, and it's just a long little tube. It's not very hard to remember. And it slithers through the water as a snake would, so that's something to remember. Now going into the tail types, as I said before, the lunate tail, an example of which being a swordfish or a tuna, as in the last one, is like a crescent shaped, and it's at the bottom there. So those are good for long distance swimmers, as I said before. And as you can see at the very top, the rounded tail with the lomachog, it serves a different purpose. It's the rounder the tails are, the more maneuverable they are, and they lose the speed aspect. And then the more or the less rounded, I guess you could say, the more speed and distance there is. So truncate, which could be an example, which a fish that could be an example for would be the black drum. I don't really know how to word that. As you can see, it's more of a blunt tail. It's not really curved in any way. It's just kind of there, just chilling, you know. And then there's a marginate, which an example of it should be the weak fish. It's kind of right in the middle, so that one's not too difficult to remember. And then the forked tail, which is, sorry for the noise, by the way. which is the the fork tail, which could be a bluefish. It's much more similar to the lunate than the rounded, and it's just like another stepping stone to the lunate, which is, as I discussed before, long distance swimmers. So the difference between the male and female fishes is the fact that they have they have different like sexual reproduction. There's a lot of different types of reproduction in fishes, and coloration plays a factor in that. So the coloration, like fish colors, are determined by two things, which are chromatophores, which are pigment-containing cells that generate skin color, and iridophores, which are specialized skin pigment cells using crystalline plates from guanine to reflect light. So we all know what guanine is, I'm sure, and the guanine, the crystalline plates from the guanine reflect the light off of the fish, which gives them the more shiny appearance, as you can see on the bottom fish. So there are three main types of coloration in fish. The first of which being mood or reproductive condition, which is like it's for attention, so that they can attract a potential mate. Then there's aposematic or warning coloration, which is a warning signal that a fish is dangerous, poisonous, or tastes bad. So that is a defense mechanism that most fish will likely avoid. Not all fish, some are stupid. Next is camouflage. So there's actually three types of camouflage, which include cryptic coloration, which match the background, disruptive coloration, which break up the outline of the fish, and counter shading, which is a white belly and a dark dorsal side. So basically, you can see that a lot on sharks, where they have like dark on their backs, you could say. So when you look down, you see it's darker on the bottom of the ocean, so it blends in. And then when you look up, you can see the white, which blends more in with the light coming down from the sky. I don't have a picture for this next portion, but it's just for this digestive system in fish, and basically the general pathway is from the pharynx to the esophagus, to the stomach, to the intestine, to the cloaca, which is the anus, passage for digestive, excretory, and reproductive systems in cartilaginous fishes. Cartilaginous fishes, which include sharks, have a spiral valve in the intestines, which increases surface area. So this allows for more nutrition to be gained, from my understanding. Okay. So this is the countercurrent exchange system in fishes. This basically allows for blood and water to flow throughout the fish. So as you can see, the direction of water flow goes through the mouth into the gill arch, which then it goes the operculum, which is a bony structure covering the gills. Then it goes. So this is a blown up image in the middle of the gill arch. So you can see the blood vessels going throughout, and so it goes through the gill filaments. And so the purpose of the gill filaments is to take like the oxygen into the blood, and each filament has thousands of fine branches called lamellae, which are exposed to the water. So they transfer ions, water, and also facilitate the exchange of oxygen, carbon dioxide, acids, and ammonia. So this is very important. So you could see an even bigger structure of what it looks like over to the top right, in which the lamella, you can see what those structures look like. So the water flows between those, and the oxygen poor blood is flowed out, I guess you could say, and the oxygen-rich blood is like flowing in. So that's basically how it works. There's diffusion of the oxygen from the water to the blood, and blood flow in the capillaries, showing percent of oxygen, which you can see in the diagram to the bottom right. check out part 2 for the rest of the fishes.